Forms are one of the primary ways that users interact with our product and enter our marketing funnel. By making it easy to fill out and get through the form, we increase the likelihood that users will remain loyal to our product. Some examples of key forms that may exist in your product include the checkout process, user registration, or money transfer. There are several components involved in creating effective forms. In addition to labels and input fields, you must also consider validation, both for format and for required fields, and how to present feedback and system messages. When considering form usability, there are several contexts we must consider. The first and most important is trust. Can the user trust you with their information, and how do they know that they can? We can help to create trust both through presenting our forms in a professional and easily usable manner, and by communicating clearly to the user what information you need from them and why you are asking for it. To build trust with our users, we must start by making the goal and the presentation of our form explicitly clear to them. Ask for only the information you need to complete the task, and communicate to users exactly why the information is needed and how it will be used. Ensure that fields have adequate white space and align them to a grid for easy scanning. Additionally, make sure that field validation and help messages are placed contextually next to the field that is in error. We can help build trust in our users by effectively communicating the information we need and how we need the information formatted. Take a friendly approach to asking questions and make it clear why the information is needed. If there are formatting considerations, make them clear in the field's help text or allow the system to reformat the input automatically. Finally, make sure that labels are clear and placed closely to each field they are related to. In your code, make sure they are formatted as a label tag instead of a paragraph or a div tag. This is important for screen readers to help users make sense of the form. To present our forms effectively, make sure that related information is grouped together and the flow of the form makes sense. For example, contact information is generally asked for first, while additional information is usually presented later. Use sentence case for labels and help text, and employ smart defaults to make the user's job easier. In some cases, you can also use browser or device geolocation information to pre-fill some fields for the user. When considering how to align form fields to labels and fields to each other, there are many different considerations to bear in mind. Whenever possible, it's best to put labels on top of the fields instead of next to them, and to present fields from top to bottom. Certain exceptions do exist. For example, first and last name can often be placed next to each other on a form, as can city and state. For most field label combinations, however, top-down is best. Labels can be placed to the left of fields in cases where forms are long and complex, or horizontal space is needed on the screen. Be aware, however, that this can slow down the completion rate of forms and can cause confusion if labels are not placed reasonably close to the fields. When designing forms for mobile users, labels should be placed on top of the field by default. To save space, you may also consider putting the label inside the field, as long as it is clearly a label. Generally, fields should be set at 100% of the width of the screen, and multiple pages should be avoided whenever possible. One exception is checkout processes. Research shows that users get frustrated completing long checkout processes on mobile. To minimize user effort and increase the likelihood of completion by mobile users, consider using tools such as autocomplete and autosuggest for text input, and make use of fields such as checkboxes or drop-down menus to present options. To minimize user effort and increase the likelihood of completion by mobile users, consider using tools such as autocomplete and autosuggest for text input, and make use of fields such as checkboxes or drop-down menus to present options. Just be wary of presenting long lists, such as a list of countries and a drop-down. They are difficult for users to scroll through and may cause problems.